Now I have a choice. I can cash out and say, this is the skills that I have, and I want to keep making money out of the skills that I have today, right?
Mm.
Or I can take a step back and look at my career as a whole and say, okay, I have these skills right now. But what are the skills that I don't have, right? So there are skills that I don't have today. I know I don't have those skills. And what I'm choosing to do is I am investing my money today into building the skills that I don't have, right? And what my hope is that once I have, more number of skills, I will be able to get the ROI much easily down the line in my 30s.
Welcome to a new episode of Chaipekharcha. This is our first in-person episode with a guest who has a very interesting profile and hopefully will bring some very unique insights for our viewers. So we have Manas Sharma today. Manas is a product manager in Grab. He's been in Singapore for the last 1 year, and something that we'll cover as we go on in the episode is that Manas hopes to go to the US to pursue MBA, and we'll have some pretty interesting questions around that, Manas. So let's begin by getting an introduction. If you could give a 2-3 line introduction of how did you come to be an NRI in Singapore, and then we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Sid, for inviting me. A quick intro about myself. I'm a CS major, and I've spent the last 7 years building products. For the most part of my career, I've worked at a company in Bangalore. Then I did my own startup back home in India. And last year, I actually came to Singapore. So it's been a little over a year that I've been living here. And so far, so good.
Why did you decide to come to Singapore? Why NRI? उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए.
Yeah, so I would say it was a bunch of reasons. The first reason was my startup did not work. So after that, I was a bit clueless as to what to do next. And I thought I had tried and done everything that I could have. And there wasn't many exciting opportunities for me in India. So I thought let me go out and see what's happening, how the other side lives, right? Second was I also wanted to get a little better life, so to say, and quality of life. So I mean,
इसको जरा विस्तार से बताइए सर, क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ का क्या मतलब है?
Yeah, actually, it's a very misinterpreted and overly used term. मेरे को भी पहले कोई बोलता था कि we have better quality of life outside. So I would laugh it out. I mean, you wash your own dishes. I have a maid who comes twice a day, right? And
quality of life.
yeah, that is quality of life. I never have to touch my dirty laundry. That's quality of life. But it's only after living here I realized that quality of life means a broader set of things. Quality of life starts with the air you breathe. Back in Delhi, when it's winter time, we're all very scared. There was a time when
pollution
there was a time when we used to get air cons in homes when I was young in school. Today, every house has an air purifier, and my house has 3 air purifiers for every room. It's so bad in Delhi.
Okay.
So that's one. Then there is also proximity to things. In Singapore, I come out of my house, I have 10 different restaurants that I can go to. Delhi में यही करना है तो गाड़ी निकालनी पड़ेगी. So these are small things which add up. मैं एक और एग्जांपल देता हूँ. आपको कैब बुक करनी है ना, या ग्रैब बुक करोगे, you'll get a grab in 1-2 minutes. In fact, like there is a higher chance you will be late to grab than grab will be late for you, right? But in Delhi, मैं कई बार ऐसा हुआ मेरे साथ कि मैं एयरपोर्ट पे आया हूँ and I've booked my Uber, I've booked my Ola.
दिख नहीं रही गाड़ी.
गाड़ी दिखनी नहीं, पहले तो 15 मिनट आने में लगे. ठीक है. दूसरा, चलो आने के पास भी आ गया कि लाइक एयरपोर्ट के अंदर लाइक एंट्री ली, मुझे कॉल करके पूछ रहा है कि कहाँ जाना है. मैं कह लाइक दिस सेक्टर. लाइक कांट गो देयर. So you get rejected by Ola Uber drivers, which has its own reason, and not to like blame them. They come from like a place where they also are protecting their interest.
Right.
But I'm just giving an example about these small things add up into your experience and the kind of like mind space you end up having.
और सर सिंगापुर क्यों? Why not any other country? Why only Singapore?
So I was very clear that I don't want to go to Europe.
Why?
First of all, like the taxes are high.
Taxes. Okay.
40-50% taxes. Singapore is also very close to India. So, like I said before, I was working in Bangalore. So Delhi se Bangalore versus Delhi se Singapore is not much different. It's the same thing.
Good points. Yes. अच्छा चलो सिंगापुर की आपने तारीफ कर दी है तो उसके बारे में और थोड़ी टिप्पणियाँ लेते हैं. You are in your late 20s.
Yeah.
Fairly young. If you had to give 2-3 tips about, actually give top 3 things that you like about life in Singapore, and then we'll get to the expenses in Singapore.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think like Singapore is a great opportunity for young people from India to come if they're looking to go outside.
Okay. Because of the reasons you mentioned, tax, proximity.
So that are a set of reasons which will attract you to Singapore. But once you come here, there will be reasons for which you will love your life here.
Okay.
The first is Singapore is a cultural hub. You'll find people from all walks of life coming here. You'll make friends who are not just like local Singaporeans but other expats, and that would also like give you a more holistic perspective of the world. Communities are very strong here, so you can be part of like a lot of expat groups. You can be part of, you have interests, for example, आपको hiking पसंद है, so there'll be hiking communities. You like talking about product, there are product communities here. You like design, there are design communities here. So you can go to like these events regularly, meet new people.
छोटी जगह तो जल्दी पहुंच भी जाओगे.
हाँ, वो भी बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज है. As a country, it's so small, it's so compact. तो you can literally like एक point सिंगापुर के एक point से दूसरे point तक you can walk in a whole day. I mean, it's not advisable, but you can.
Yes.
So it's easy. So that I would say is one. Second is Singapore offers a very healthy life, and so एक part इसका होता है कि diet, right? So you can get like a lot of nutritious options from day to day, like eating stores. But at the same time, it also means the kind of environment that you live in. So if you go out to let's say like Marina Bay Sands, or you go to East Coast Park, after work you'll see a lot of people running there, cycling there,
facilities and exercise वगैरह करने,
roller skating. So you can, when you look at so many people doing that, you feel यार मेरे को भी करना चाहिए. So you end up like picking up these things and investing also in your health.
Yeah, so this is आपने बोला multicultural, one, lot of communities
Yes.
that you can participate in. and healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay, good 3 points here. Okay, let's go to the expense part in Singapore. अगर आपको 100 रुपये हैं इनकम, हाउसिंग में कितने रुपए जाते हैं?
3 to 4, like let's say 35. Sorry, 30% to 40%.
30 to 40%. Okay, which is high.
Which is
higher
yes.
than average. तो काफी खर्चा कर रहे हो आप रहने पे.
Yeah, but that's for me.
Choice.
Yeah, that's by choice.
You can go lower.
Much lower.
Okay.
Like you can get, I mean, for one person, you can also bring it down to like 10 to 15 rupees very easily.
Okay.
Very easily.
Yes, which I cannot vouch for. Utilities, electricity, pani, internet.
Internet is the most expensive one among them, but I would say 5.
5 rupees.
Yeah. So put together 40.
35 plus 40.
Yeah.
Right. Khana.
Including day to day or
Day
going
to day, going out.
Okay. So going out is expensive. So day to day, I would say like 10. Going out, I would say another 15. So put together 25.
काफी हो गया. 40 plus 25, 65. और कुछ?
Nothing else. Like rest of it you save up.
बाकी टैक्स ले लो आप.
Yeah.
ठीक. काफी यानी it's very decent for a relatively lavish lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're saving a lot of money.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I think in Singapore you can really save up money. Mainly because of the tax thing. So
Taxes.
the majority of my expenses is actually rent. So
Also अपने actually ये नहीं है अपने ओके movement जो commute है
yeah,
that for most people including us happens on public transport.
yeah,
Which is cheaper than owning and maintaining a car.
yeah. Owning a car is not possible in Singapore.
बहुत पैसा चाहिए उसके लिए.
Yeah.
ठीक है. This is आपने इतनी तारीफें कर दी सिंगापुर की, तो फिर यूएस क्यों जाना चाह रहे हो? Why US and why MBA भी बता दो साथ में.
Why US is because like it aligns better with my career goals. And why MBA, I would say, is because a few reasons. One of which is I want to, like build a better business acumen. And this comes from like, a startup that I tried did not work. So I had learnings, and next time when I try doing something like that, I want to be in a better place. Second is I've been working for a while, so I think like I want to take some time away from day-to-day work and look at like what I really want to pursue, and being in a bubble like an MBA bubble, you also get to meet a lot of different people from around the world. You get time to think and reflect upon yourself, and see your life and ask yourself, hey, I've been walking on this path. Is this the path that I want to continue walking? I've been thinking about a lot of these interesting ideas. Are there like things that I can do about them, right? So asking those questions which you would otherwise not have the mind space. So it gives you that opportunity. So I think bunch of like those reasons made me realize that I want to pursue a B school. And to be honest, I'm actually one of those guys after engineering who would say very vocally that doing an MBA after engineering is the worst possible thing. And I was like completely like a builder mentality guy. Like you build stuff. You don't like, go to a B school and learn a bunch of
build presentations.
Yeah. But now my perspective has changed, and it has also come with a lot of experiences, which has made me think differently about it.
US आपने ये तो सब MBA का बताया
US, I said, right, like better opportunity and aligns better with my career.
तो अपॉर्चुनिटी का क्या मतलब है बेटर अपॉर्चुनिटी को कैसे डिस्क्राइब करेंगे
सो देखो, मतलब आप अगर आज की डेट में लाइक इफ यू कंपेयर यूएस विद रेस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, the biggest advantage of being in US is you get to work on innovative things. You get to work on deep technology, and US as a place has also nurtured big time that culture. It comes from the huge investments that they do in their education space. उसकी वजह से so many PhDs come out of US, which means a lot of research work happens there. Plus, US also is a place where there is this spirit of like building new things.
तो आपको लगता है ये यूएस में स्पेसिफिकली ज़्यादा है कंपेयर्ड टू एनी अदर प्लेस इन द वर्ल्ड
देखो, ऐसा मुझे नहीं लगता कि लाइक इनोवेशन सिर्फ यूएस में हो सकती है, ठीक है. सो आई डोंट वांट यू टू मिस इंटरप्रेट दैट. इनोवेशन हर जगह होती है, हो भी रही है. लाइक अगर आप इंडिया में देखो, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ इनोवेशन दैट्स हैपनिंग. एशिया में एज अ होल हैपनिंग, यूरोप में भी इट्स हैपनिंग. बट देयर इज अ critical difference between the kind of innovation. So in rest of the world, most of the innovation that comes is more use case specific. I mean, like for example, like there'll be marketplaces like your Flipkarts of the world, your Zomatos of the world. There will be specific niches around fintech companies like Paytm and PhonePe and all those. But what they are essentially doing is they are solving problems that exist today in a better, technological way. So they're making your life easier by enabling technology to solve problems which otherwise you would have to do in a more complicated way. But contrast that with America. America is also thinking about problems that you don't have today, but you will have tomorrow. So they are thinking about how can your life also be better 10-15 years down the line, right?
डिसरप्टिव चीज
चीज
एफिशिएंट नहीं बना रहे
Yes.
इवॉल्व कर रहे हैं
efficient भी बना रहे हैं. There are those kind of companies also there, but there are also companies where there are deep tech innovations that are happening. I mean, the best example is looking at the whole AI wave, right? Today, everyone in the world is building AI products. There are also LLMs that are being built out of Europe, Asia. But if you look at where it started,
yes.
came from America, right? And America, it started a decade ago, right? I mean, the impact is today, but investment started a decade ago. That's how long it has taken for the technology to reach a space where it's disrupting the world as a whole. So, wo opportunity, and when you look at the kind of companies Elon Musk has, I mean, some of them will find ridiculous, but and maybe they'll not work also, but
audacity to try
yes. And it's not just Elon Musk. Elon Musk is just like a famous guy. That's why everyone knows about him. But there are a lot of people who are building, things in the similar space, and figure
AI, robotics.
Yes.
Difficult to dispute what you're saying. ठीक है. So, I'll ask you a question which is चाय पे खर्चा, थोड़ी फाइनेंस की बात कर लें.
बिल्कुल.
आपने एमबीए की बड़ी तारीफ करी, ब्रेक ले रहे हो, ये सोचने मिल रहा है वो सोच, और यूएस जा रहे हो. US MBA is generally very expensive.
Yes.
It is a heavy expense. Plus 2 साल आप काम नहीं करोगे. So there's a even bigger dent to the monetary posture. तो ये सब के बाद how did you justify the ROI to yourself
Yeah.
on this attempt?
Yeah, that's a brilliant question. Actually, how I'll tell you how most people do it first. Most people think about it like from a perspective that like over a period of time they will earn a certain amount of money. Now I'll tell you my motivation and the way I look at it. So the way I look at it is I have certain number of skills today, right, that I've accumulated from the last 7 years of working in the industry. That skills pay me X amount of money, right? That X amount of money gives me a comfortable life, lets me pursue things that I want to outside work. Now I have a choice. I can cash out and say, this is the skills that I have, and I want to keep making money out of the skills that I have today, right? Or I can take a step back and look at my career as a whole and say, okay, I have these skills right now, but what are the skills that I don't have, right? So there are skills that I don't have today. I know I don't have those skills. And what I'm choosing to do is I am investing my money today into building the skills that I don't have, right? And what my hope is that once I have more number of skills, I will be able to get the ROI much easily down the line in my 30s, right? Although money is not my biggest motivator, I feel in general, 30s is the time when you make most of your wealth, right? So I don't want to cash in too early and say कि अभी मेरे को just because I can get paid well, I should just limit myself to this level.
What can happen? What interesting perspective, sir. It is unique, real worthy. इसका क्लिप बना देंगे काट के. ठीक है. Let's start concluding the episode. You know what is FIRE?
No, sir.
FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. Financial Independence Retire Early. What it simply means is कि भाई आपके पास इतना अगर आपने पैसा जमा कर लिया, then you are in a position not having to work. It doesn't mean you don't work. It just means that you work on things that you like.
I see.
So we discuss this with all the guests that we have on the show. It basically means कि भाई आपके पास अगर कोई lump sum है और वो what we want to get to is that number lump sum का कि भाई 10 करोड़ 15 करोड़ या in terms of dollars 5 million 10 million जितना भी will what is that number for you that will have you say अब ठीक है अब मैं जो करना चाहता हूँ लाइफ में करूँगा.
Yeah, I've achieved like enough money to live comfortably.
Right.
Unfortunately, मेरा perspective इस पे थोड़ा different है.
Okay.
So I understand like traditionally the way people look at it is okay, I have $1 million, I have like $10 million, whatever, right? You can throw out a number and then you can say okay, all my career is going to be about pursuing that number. But I feel कि the world has changed.
Okay.
In the last 5-7 years, what has changed is there is another avenue, there's another path where you don't have to reach a lump sum to build this passive income, right? What do you need? Like today, like to live comfortably, you need maybe a $15,000 or $20,000 a month. You live very comfortably in a $20,000, right?
Yeah.
If
Absolutely.
I gave you $20,000 every month, you don't have to do a job for a salary,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
But you don't need $1 million in your bank to do that, right?
Yes.
So in a way, it's fair to say that if I can build a revenue stream which gives me that X amount of money, which is wherever I'm living, if it is enough to live comfortably, then it's my financial independence.
Yes, if I can assure myself that I keep getting this $20,000 for the next whatever 30 years or so,
Yes.
then
In a way, but let me actually kind of like explore, talk a little bit more about what this is, right? So this is basically something where, especially people in tech, right? Lot of people have been pursuing this path where they're leaving their jobs, and they're leaving their jobs after they reach a certain amount of money from their side projects. So side projects में आपने कुछ बनाया, you start selling it online, put a Stripe account to it, small problem, and then you make money out of it, right? And to be able to generate that money, you will of course have to spend some time growing that small product. But it is possible, and people are doing it, and large number of people are doing it. There's this website called indiehackers.com. It's a forum. Just go on that forum and look at like the number of products.
India is individual hacking. Or
individual hacking. 1%, 2% company.
Solopreneur.
So they will never raise money. They don't care about raising money. They just want to care. They just care about like building products which are small and for a niche. So
build fast, build at less expense, and
yes. And what do you need for it? Like today, you don't even need coding skills. You just need like to find a problem statement and find a niche for which you are solving it. There are plenty of tools which are no code, product builders. You can use those. You can use APIs that are available, outside, and you can build it. And this path is actually what I feel as tech people is a better path to achieving financial independence. इसमें क्या advantage? इसमें एडवांटेज क्या है? अब आपको पूरी लाइफ घिसाने की जरूरत नहीं. आपको ये नहीं सोचने की जरूरत, ओ 10-15 साल आई हैव टू वर्क इन अ बिग टेक कंपनी, देन आई विल हैप्पी. तो आप 10 साल तो मिजरेबल हो ना. 10 साल आप probably you're doing a job which you're not happy with, right? In the hope कि 10-15 साल बाद मैं वो कर पाऊंगा जो मेरा मन करेगा. और मे बी इट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल जब 10-15 साल में आपने 1 million जमा भी कर लिया, you reach that point where you have that money and you're like, okay, I don't want to maybe do this. I even don't know what I want to do, right? So I think this is a better path. It might result in failure a few times, but that's the beauty of इस पूरे को ना माइक्रो साइंस बोलते हैं कि छोटा प्रोडक्ट है and you're solving a very छोटा problem. I'll give you some example. जैसे कि आपने परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग के लिए कीवर्ड रिसर्च टूल बना दिया. छोटी सी प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट है, उसमें आप AI का एप्लीकेशन लगा सकते हो. छोटी सी प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट है, इट विल सेव टाइम फॉर परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटर्स. आप उसको एक $10 पर यूजर पे बेच दो, राइट? सो आपका बेसिकली लाइक रिकरिंग मनी बन गया SaaS का. नाउ if that money basically compounds or with more number of users coming, आपको it gives a solid revenue stream. And I will add to that कि अब हो सकता है कि आपने जो फर्स्ट आइडेंटिफाई करी हो प्रॉब्लम वो चले ना, तो आप दूसरा बना दो. द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस माइक्रो साइंस कि आपको इसके अंदर बहुत बड़े प्रोडक्ट्स बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है. यू कैन इन्वेस्ट 1-2 weeks, build something very very lean, see if it works. जैसे in big tech we do experiments, right? Features पे experiments करते हैं. यहाँ पे it's just like building small products and experimenting with it.
Yeah. Very unique perspective, sir. हमने इतनी बार फायर के बारे में बात की है, पर ये एंगल को ज़्यादा खोदा नहीं है. तो एडवांटेज ऑफ हैविंग यूथ इन द शो. सही है. ठीक है. Any last thoughts that you'd want to share with our audience? We close out.
You should watch chaipekharcha.
यही बुलवाना चाहते थे.
Yes, and I'm not paid for this.
Yes. Great.
Yeah, so nice to be on the show as well. We keep talking. Sid actually is, we're both in the same team. तो हम कई बार ये जूस रहता है तो जूस पीते हुए घूमते हुए काफ़ी ऐसी बातें करते हैं. तो आज सिड ने बोला लेट्स रिकॉर्ड इट. सो
YouTube पे डाल दो.
Yes.
बड़ी बात है.
Yes.
चलो सर,
thank you so much.